I was always into visual arts growing up. I was really into photography when I was in college, and working production gives you the opportunity to add visuals to music and add a whole other element and kind of create an environment based around the music and add different kinds of art into it. Yeah, started this company in 2011 after working for a long time in the production industry as a freelance audio engineer mainly. But for me, it all started when I was in high school playing in bands. I played in lots of bands in junior high and high school and in college, and I was always the guy who knew how to make the microphone work. Somehow I got that job. So I had worked as a freelance audio engineer for over 10 years before I started this company. And during that time, I did a lot of things. I worked with a lot of companies and worked on a lot of events and met a lot of really talented people along the way who were really passionate about what they were doing. And for me, this whole company kind of started as a way for those people to come together and collaborate on certain projects. And it still is very much a collaborative effort, kind of pooling all of the talents and the experience of everyone who's involved here. I went to a lot of shows when I was younger. I went to lots and lots of shows, and watching these guys, there was a tent in the middle of the field, with a bunch of electronic stuff underneath it, and they were clearly working, but I was looking at them and watching how much fun they were having, and I was like, whatever it is exactly, I understood that it was something with probably the sound and the lights that they were doing, but it was like, whatever it is that those guys are doing, that's a cool job. Typically, people come to us with an idea or a vision of what they want their event to be like, and it's up to us to do whatever it takes to make that happen and make their vision into a reality. All this gear is just one big toy, and we can configure it in a million different ways, and people hire us to bring this toy out into the public, and sometimes cities shut down streets so that we can build this toy and play with this toy, and people throw huge parties around this thing, and then when it's over we just pack it up and load it back into the warehouse. And to me that sounds like a cool job. That's like a definition of a cool job. And that's how most of my stories start, is that some guy came to me with this idea that most of the people they had told about this idea before they got to me told them it would never happen. And then, and I hate telling people that, so like he came to me with this idea of, I want to bring a multi-genre, all ages music event to the entire city of Winona. I want to have venues all over the city, and I want people to be able to buy one wristband and walk around to all the venues and check out all different kinds of bands. Winona's a unique place to have that happen because it's a small community. So yeah, I took on the job of production manager, which meant that I had to meet with all the venues, which is difficult for this festival because there's not 13 music venues in Winona. There's there's barely 3 or 4, you know? So we had to find a lot of spaces that weren't typically used as music venues and find out how to transform them. So I had to meet with venues, talk with bands, get all their information. I had to design sound systems for all the stuff, provide all the equipment, providing all the staff, getting all the equipment to Winona, getting the venue set up, making sure everything's running smoothly. After the show, everything in reverse order. Made me feel like, yeah, this is what I need to be doing. There's nothing else that's gonna give me this feeling of satisfaction. After that festival, that first Midwest Music Fest, getting home after a week of work, working like 20-hour days a week in a row, and getting home and sitting on my couch and just with nothing, no TV on, no lights on, just sitting on the couch and just like breathing. And that's like a feeling I look forward to a lot, like that feeling of getting home and knowing that you did something, knowing that I spent my time, not just spending time, but I spent my time doing something. And it's something that people are going to remember. We teamed up with Kevin Dobie from RCTC and this project he had created called the Symphonic Vision Project. The name kind of says it all. It was designed to add a visual aspect to symphonic music. His hopes were to open the door so that people who wouldn't normally enjoy that kind of music would have another opportunity to get involved with it, more than just listening to it, but to have a visual aspect to it. The visual aspects that we added were, a lot of lighting. Kevin wrote hundreds of lighting cues for the show. We did all types of projection. There was 5 projectors doing video mapping of the whole stage. Kevin wrote hundreds or maybe even thousands of video cues for that. And it was all very synced up to the music, So it was taking something that's been around forever, this symphony music, and making it a multimedia experience. But that really gives a good example of what I love about this job, which is that I get to take people's ideas and dreams and visions and help find a way to make it become a reality. What else can we talk about? What can we talk about? Like more cool stuff.